and Justin Domashevitz.
Whoops.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah. Yeah.
Feels not as good with the music cutting out.
Why did the music cut out?
Because I need to make Andrew a new thing.
Yeah, the way we're doing things now.
It
Also,
requires a new intro video.
or
you know what?
requires me to remember that it's like that and play the audio file at the same time.
Or go find the old intro video that I sent you first, because at some point I think I had it right, and then you were like, no, you should have it be this way.
So what I've gathered...
Which was the right way for the way we were doing
Yes.
from this
To be
short
clear.
conversation is we need to get our crap together, and it's everybody's fault except me. Got it. Okay.
You're listening to the Scrimmage.
The Knights who say knee. We are no longer the Knights who say knee. We are now the Knights who say eki, eki, eki for lupopum.
Welcome to the Scrimmage. I'm Justin Domashevitz. That was Daniel Hargrove, and our trusty producer, Andrew Gross here. Thank you for giving us that music. We needed that
Yes.
to get into the show.
Yep.
We got a lot of good stuff to talk about, some local sports. We're going to talk about some more local sports and then some other local sports.
Really?
We're gonna
That's
do
a lot of local sports.
Yeah, some baseball, some Mariners stuff's going on, and of course, NBA playoffs.
That's happening?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
So hard to pay attention.
Yeah, it is. But first, 2-minute drill.
Let's go. Gotta hurry. Hey, 2-minute situation. 44 seconds. Hand the ball around. Gonna do it right. 3 jet Buckeye. Don't worry. 3.
The 2-minute drill starts now.
LeBron James said on Twitter that he can and will not miss the postseason again in his career. Justin, how likely is LeBron James to follow through on his guarantee?
I think if you look at the history of his career, you could go, yeah, he probably is likely. But then you look at this year, and we're like, he was amazing. He actually had an incredible year, but he missed a lot of games. He actually almost wouldn't... Actually, maybe he didn't even get there. He was on the borderline of not being able to qualify for winning the scoring title because he didn't play enough games. His team was full of old guys. Other guys got hurt, and I think we've seen now that even LeBron at this age can't carry a team. So it's going to be tough for him to follow through on this unless he hands over GM operations to an actual GM and lets someone else try to build a team around him.
I have more questions on that later.
Yeah, okay. Angels manager Joe Madden gave Rangers shortstop Corey Seager the Barry Bonds treatment last week, walking him intentionally with the bases loaded in the 4th inning, giving Texas a 4-2 lead. LA did end up winning the game 9-6. Daniel, did Madden's move work?
I mean, they won. It worked. I guess you could say it worked. They won the
allowed
game.
2 more runs that same inning.
Yeah,
so.
I don't know. You give someone the Barry Bonds treatment when they're on a hot streak. Corey Seager has been very average to start the year so far, so I really don't understand that decision.
Didn't he say afterwards that it wasn't a numbers move? It was just a feeling of an emotions of the game move?
He did. He said he wanted to shake things up.
What a weirdo. Marcus Smart was named NBA Defensive Player of the Year last week. The selection has been widely criticized by the national media. Justin, did Smart deserve to be the first guard to win the Defensive Player of the Year since Gary Payton in 1996?
The short answer is no.
No.
This is a garbage choice. How can the winner of the NBA Defensive Player of the Year be on a team that has the exact same defensive efficiency rating when he's on the floor as when he's off the floor? This is a lazy choice by the media writers who forgot that this award was a thing, and then at the last minute went, oh, what's the best defense in the league? Oh, it's the Celtics. Who's a really good defender on the Celtics? Oh, well, Robert Williams is out with an injury. Let's give it to Marcus Smart. This is a crap decision. How about giving it to somebody who actually has an impact on the overall team defense when he's on the floor. Like somebody like, I don't want to say these names, but Rudy Gobert or Draymond Green, who actually improved their team's defensive efficiency rating by 4 points.
Or since the last one was Gary Payton, why not Gary Payton too?
Yeah.
That was the short
Although he did a
answer.
thing with a finger with Nikola Jokic recently.
Was that him?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's weird.
I never did get context on that.
Yeah, that's icky.
Dodgers pitcher Clayton Kershaw.
And I'm gonna say an accident.
I don't know. Dodgers pitcher Clayton Kershaw was pulled after throwing 7 perfect innings against the Minnesota Twins. The veteran had thrown just 80 pitches and struck out 13 of the 21 batters he faced. Daniel, was pulling Kershaw the right move?
Everybody has said this is
long
the
pause.
right move, including Clayton Kershaw has defended his coaches for doing it.
I admire him for that.
What a classy dude.
Yeah.
I would be pissed. I would be
assumed it was
so mad.
I just assumed he was soft.
Oh.
He knew he couldn't do it, and so he'd rather leave early than fail.
Well, maybe. I would be livid. If it was a no-hitter, fine. Perfect games are so rare, and he was having one of the best performances in history, striking out 13 of 21 batters. If he would have continued that pace and gotten the perfect game, it might have been the greatest game ever pitched. Like, he was on that level. Absolutely mind-boggling.
I didn't want to interrupt you, but
Mind-boggling.
But this is where
Everybody's saying, oh, it's the right move. It's like the first game of the season. You got to play for the last game. And I'm like, this dude's been playing forever. If he tells you, hey, you know, my arm's a little sore, then maybe you can take him out. But he's got 2 innings left.
and the fact that he defended his coaches, that's why I really was just assuming that he was like, yeah, I was losing it. I'm going to just go out and not try to finish it because I wasn't going to finish it anyway.
That's still that's
This is
silly.
the thing where-
that doesn't make sense in my brain. I was
That's
losing
'cause-
it. You
'cause
wait
you're not
till you've
soft.
lost it. You wait till you lost it.
exactly. And Daniel, you mentioned this, like, perfect no hitters are a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
Perfect games are so rare.
So rare.
And the pace he was on was for like a perfect game with 17 or 18 strikeouts.
Yeah.
Like,
and with
insane.
like maybe 100 pitches.
Yeah. So this is the thing where, like, baseball purists are going to be like, this is the one time I might agree with them. Like, this is history.
Yeah.
We're talking about history.
Exactly.
This is a guy's shot to get a perfect game. I mean, how many have there been? Like a dozen?
No, it's more than that. It's close
20?
to I think it's close to 30.
Okay.
But when you think that they've been tracked since like 1900,
Yeah.
the fact that there's only been like 30 perfect games, that's insane.
I can't think of perfect games without thinking of our friend Sean.
Yeah, what a jerk.
When I think back to Felix's perfect game, Sean was in the building for that.
Yeah.
And when I
apparently there's only been 23.
Okay. Yeah. So when Sean was in the building for that, not only was I super jealous, like I was happy for him because I love him, but also Sean had told me at the beginning of that season that he thought Felix was going to throw a perfect game that year.
Dang.
And he was like, I'm going to try to get to the ballpark every time I can when Felix is pitching because I have a feeling that he's going to throw a perfect game this year. And I was like, you're crazy, man.
Yeah.
You can't predict when a perfect game's going to
Seriously.
happen.
Yeah.
He was right.
So it says, according to Wikipedia, which everybody knows is always correct, it says the
fact.
feat has been achieved 23 times, 21 since the modern era began in 1901. Most recent,
Hilarious that
yeah.
the modern era is
Yeah.
120 years ago.
And especially since the era before that only lasted baseball was invented in like 1880 or something like
What
that.
happened in 1901 that made it be the modern era? Is
Was
it
that
just
when
the
they
turn
moved-
of the century,
Or was that when the mound was moved back?
no, that was in the 20s, wasn't it?
Oh, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Felix Hernandez is the most recent perfect game thrower.
Is he really?
I thought there was one since then.
I thought there was too.
It says, according to Wikipedia,
Which is
most
never
recently
wrong.
by Felix Hernandez, the Seattle Mariners, on August 15th, 2012.
Daniel, you said you had
Really?
more questions about the LeBron James thing. Did I speak out of turn? Did I say something wrong?
I don't think you spoke out of turn.
Okay.
How old is he now, first of all?
37?
That's wow. It's crazy because
I always remember because he's a little bit older than me, but we're basically the same
Okay.
age. And I'll be 37.
I remember when he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated with The Chosen One when he was in high school.
Yeah, me too.
That was nuts.
It's pretty cool.
So my
I watched
question
some of his
is,
high school basketball games on ESPN.
I remember, yeah. The next question is, will he go Kevin Durant and just go find good teams to play on from now on?
Well,
I mean, he hasn't been opposed to just going and finding good teams in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that would be the way instead of him trying to draw people to him. Because obviously he's really bad at being a GM. He got Russell Westbrook to play for him for Pete's sake.
That's a bad move.
That's a terrible move.
Yeah, there was also a bad move. Like a lot of the moves that have been done on LeBron James teams, I've been like, oh yeah, that could work. That one I was like, well, you guys were there. I was like, no! Why did you do that?
Exactly.
But he healed! He was right there in front of you!
Seriously. It didn't make any sense.
No. So, but he said publicly, and he didn't admit to, he's never admitted to like playing a huge role in who's brought into the team. But this time he said, hey, I'm hands off. I'm going to let the Lakers front office do what they do to build the team.
Did he say that before or after they got Russell Westbrook?
No, he said it like late in the season when it became obvious that they were bad.
Oh, okay.
So,
So,
like,
now he's
going
like,
into-
I've obviously done a terrible job.
He didn't admit that. He said the second thing without saying the first thing.
Gotcha.
Because what he should have said was, boy, I really flubbed up this year by building this team. I would like you guys to do it next year because you're better than me at this. Mm-hmm. But instead, he just said I would like you guys to do this next year without apologizing for what happened this year.
Smart.
Which is like, I've been sharing this sentiment lately. Like, I love LeBron. I've always loved LeBron. It gets harder and harder to like be an adamant supporter of everything he does because he does crap like this, and it's like it's wearying after a while.
Yep.
So
What do you think about the perfect game situation?
I think you got a shot at history. You chase history, and
Exactly.
to me, it's not like this isn't
Especially,
a
like-
young guy who like you're afraid you're gonna wreck his arm.
Exactly.
A young guy you're afraid he's gonna need Tommy John surgery if you don't do things just right. This is a veteran player who's on way the backside of his career, like literally coming into the final years of his career.
Yeah.
And he's got a shot at history. You go get that history.
Exactly.
And because if I'm Clayton Kershaw, I've accomplished everything I wanted to in my career.
Yep.
I want to go get that perfect game. And if I'm just going to say it, if blowing out my elbow is the consequence from me trying to go get history, I'm going to do it.
Yep.
And so that's why it was frustrating to me because I was like, it's history. Go get it.
Is he coming off of surgery?
Not that I know.
Oh,
of.
he's injured all the time.
maybe.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. I don't know.
He is coming off of some kind of injury. I don't know if
it's
it was
an injury,
surgery.
not surgery.
Gotcha.
Okay.
But they had him set for like a pitch count.
Yeah.
And they actually let him slightly exceed the pitch count. But like, just go for it.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's stupid.
I wouldn't have let him take me off the mound. I would have sat down. Like, nope, not leaving.
I believe you would
There's
have.
a brawl between the pitcher and the.
I believe you would have done that. I actually believe you.
They would have had to carry me off.
Yeah, kicking and screaming.
Yep.
Who was the pitcher who threw the ball? It was Trevor Bauer, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I shouldn't say that name. It's a toxic name now.
Yeah.
But that was like he chucked the ball into the stands, right?
Yeah, he chucked it into center field.
Yeah.
And me and you have... Wait, I don't know if you were at the game. Were you at the game where Jimmy did that?
No. Your brother did that.
Yeah. So he didn't chuck it in the stands, though. So he's still kind of embarrassed about it, but still kind of proud of how far he threw it. You know. So Jimmy was playing for the Grace Harbor Chokers.
Yeah.
And they only had one coach that day for whatever reason. Only one coach. So Coach Schreiber, at the time, goes to the ump and is like, hey, I need at least a warning first. You know, he was known for being a fiery temper coach. He's like, I need at least a warning. I don't have any other coaches.
That is very kind the way you put that.
Yeah. I need a warning. And the first thing he says, the ump turns and throws him out of the game. Game forfeit. Game over. In like the third inning.
Wow.
And Jimmy just on the mound, Goes, "Are you kidding me?" And then chucks the ball into the woods at Olympic Stadium, like over the parking lot.
Really?
Yeah, like
That's far.
up into the hill. Yeah,
He had some like anger power behind
exactly.
it. So
and he says that he remembers one of his teammates coming over. It's like, "Hey man, Jimmy, you can't do that." And then another one of his players were like, "No, screw that.
Yeah.
That was awesome."
and you mentioned Sean Schreiber. So my experience with him was so funny because I had heard all these stories.
Yeah.
And he was the coach at Grays Harbor College, and then he became the coach at Aberdeen. I don't know what he's doing now.
I don't know either.
But I had heard all these stories about him throwing stuff and getting angry, and just all these crazy stories about him. And
Because both Jimmy and I played for him.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Well, and then from other people too.
Okay.
So like I just heard all this stuff, and even I worked at the newspaper at the time, and even like I think maybe even my editor had told me like, "Hey, he's a pretty fiery guy.
Yeah.
Good guy, but fiery guy." And I went to cover an Aberdeen baseball game, and I met him for the first time, and it was like he was just so nice, and I was like, "What was I so worried about coming here to talk to you? You're the nicest guy." It was great.
Yeah. And he was Andrew's neighbor growing up.
Oh yeah.
And he's super nice.
Small world.
Yeah. Anyway, how did we get onto that?
I don't know.
Oh, me sitting down on the mound, and then we rabbit trailed.
I think it's time for my favorite part of the show.
No.
Serving questions up on a silver platter where the points are made up and the rules don't matter. Time for Stump Daniel.
Did you hear the episode that I did by myself? Really quick, did you actually listen to that?
yes, I did.
Travesty.
No, it was good. I especially like the thumbnail photo of the video where you're like creepily staring into the soul of
Just
everyone who's
sitting in a
looking at it.
basement.
Yeah.
Was it better or worse that I just did it on YouTube like that instead of actually trying to do it? Because when I actually tried to do it, remember, I kept having videos autoplay like throughout.
I thought it was great.
This time I was like, oh, I got an echo. I'm in a basement. But could you believe the Stump Daniel question that
You have to remind me what it was.
Canada's national sport?
Oh,
Lacrosse?
Yeah.
Get out of here, Canada.
no.
It's
Isn't that East Coast like prep colleges?
Yeah.
National sport.
Like, I'm sure North Carolina has a great lacrosse
I
team.
was thinking like more
Duke,
like
I
New
think,
England.
Oh, gotcha.
Like,
Northeast is like Lacrosse Central.
yeah.
And Duke and North Carolina. North Carolina has a really good lacrosse program, men's and women's.
That doesn't shock me.
Duke's lacrosse program is most known for violence.
Oh.
Bad stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the
That
other
makes
thing
sense.
was,
They're terrible
since
people.
we're doing Stump Daniel throwbacks,
Yes.
brought to you by the law office of Jeffrey A. Damashevitz, the episode that you guys did a couple weeks ago without me, where I did all the prep work for it.
Yeah,
I imagined being able to ask you those questions myself. So first off, the one about Mariners left fielders.
Yeah.
I was not intending to give you multiple choice.
Oh.
I was going to ask you who it was and see if you came up with Al Martin.
Gotcha.
But I was surprised when
my
I
bad.
looked. No, it's okay. There was no clear instructions because, again, I had intended for it to be asked myself. But also the one about the right fielder before Ichiro.
Yeah.
I did not remember Jay Buhner actually was on the team in 2001.
I didn't remember
He
that
was
either.
hurt at the beginning of the year. So I've always been like, for the last couple weeks, I've been wondering what would have happened if he was healthy. Would they have played Ichiro somewhere else? Would they have played him
center?
in left or what?
Would they have played him in left and Buhner in right?
Had-
Or would they have switched
had
it?
Edgar retired yet? He retired after that, didn't he?
Yeah, Edgar,
Edgar
was,
was
still on the
around
team.
for several
I was
more
gonna
years.
say, would they DH him? But they
Would
wouldn't
they-
DH him with
No.
Edgar.
No.
They probably would have played Buhner in left and Ichiro in right, and that team would have been even better.
He did play.
Because you look at those left fielders and you're like, ugh.
Yeah.
How did they win 116 games
I didn't
with
know
that?
most of the names.
Yeah, neither. I remembered them, but I wouldn't have thought of them had they not been multiple choice.
I remembered Mark McLemore as the left fielder. So to me, I was surprised that Al Martin played so much.
Yeah. I remember the only reason why I guessed Martin instead of McLemore is because McLemore was like, he was such a utility player
Yes.
that I assumed he played.
Because he played like 7 different positions.
Yeah. He was like one of my favorite players. He was one of my favorite players that wasn't like mainstream because I loved how he could play like every spot.
Yeah, so Buhner, he did play a little bit towards the end of that year when he was back from his injury. But
Weird.
because the reason I put that question in there was because about the right fielder before Ichiro, because I didn't remember that Buhner played that long. In
Yeah.
my head, he had already retired then.
Yeah, me too.
So anyway, so for this edition of Stump Daniel, we're going to do something that in that episode, Daniel said we would never do.
Wait, what?
You said in
What?
that episode, Yankees Trivia. We'll never do Yankees Trivia. So this edition
Is
of
Francis
Stump
watching?
Daniel,
Has Francis logged on yet? Has somebody sent Francis a text that we're broadcasting yet? Somebody needs
I
to
haven't
send
got
him
a text from him, so I'm going to assume he's not watching, but he'll listen later.
Okay. I don't know.
We're gonna
Why
do.
are you doing this to
we're
me?
gonna do because I was so infuriated that you said we will never do this.
Why?
And I was like, you don't tell me what to do. You say we're not gonna do Yankees trivia. I'm doing Yankees trivia.
You were more infuriated by. I don't know who you are anymore.
I had several bones to pick with you guys after listening to that episode.
Oh,
Really?
okay.
I'm sorry.
Are we gonna get into some of these bones?
I
I
did
could go
my
back
best.
in my notes and look at
You
them.
abandoned us.
Hold on a second. That's true. I did. But
After doing all the work,
I made
we literally
notes.
just read stuff that Justin wrote.
I made notes in my phone that says, pick a bone with Daniel about blah, blah, blah. Pick a bone with Andrew about blah, blah, blah.
All right, Yankees trivia.
Okay,
I sent Francis a
Hold
text
on.
saying that we were live. By the way,
this is my favorite one. Pick a bone with Daniel because he's bad at math. Because you said at one point, 1989 to 2001,
That's 12 years.
that's 22 years.
Did I really?
Yeah, you did. You said that's 22 years. Wow. And Andrew didn't correct you or anything.
I have never claimed to be good at math, and that would go doubly for radio math, which everyone knows is way harder.
And then I said, pick a bone with Andrew because getting 7 out of 10 correct is not the Julio zone.
It's way better than the Julio zone at the moment. At least it might be the Julio umpire
We've
zone.
got some advice from Angel, Justin's wife.
Uh-oh.
She says, Justin is a contrarian. Don't tell him he can't or won't. Trust me.
Justin, you
Just
can't.
keep that in mind, maybe.
You can't buy me jeans stop and go on the way home. You cannot do that.
Screw that.
Not only that, but
doing
don't.
it.
But don't.
I'm doing it. I also put pick a bone with Daniel about the way he answered the Tiger Woods question.
How did I answer it? I
You-
said he was the biggest story on the.
Yes, you
Twitter.
did.
Yeah.
And it was total crap.
It was?
It was annoying that he was the biggest story.
But he was. You asked if I was, not if it should be. Right?
That's a good point.
Or did you say should be?
No, I think I said was. Now, I think that's a distinction I should have made better. But what I wanted was for the question to be answered, why is Tiger Woods barely making the cut, the lead story? Because I've experienced this. Like, I turned on ESPN, and they led SportsCenter for the first 10 minutes with Tiger Woods.
Yeah. Your
How
question,
about-
I just pulled it up, is
Okay.
is Tiger's return the biggest story at the Masters?
Shouldn't be.
And it was.
Shouldn't have been. Because you literally have a 25-year-old American winning his first major.
Yeah.
He's the #1 ranked golfer in the world.
Yep.
And I can't remember his name now. Scotty Scheffler?
Was it Scheffler or Schauffele?
I think it's Xander Schauffele. Scotty
It was
Scheffler.
yeah, you're right. Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah.
Scotty Scheffler.
I think it's Scheffler.
Yeah, great
And
guy.
I was like,
too.
why? I've always rooted for Tiger, and I think
Yeah.
golf is better when Tiger's in it.
Yep.
But why did the coverage need to be 99% Tiger when, like, usher in the new era of golf in America?
Yeah, Tiger totally pulled a Coach L right there.
He did.
Like, he made it all about him.
Yeah.
He didn't return to any tournaments before that. He's like, it's the Masters. I'm back from my injury. And everybody's like, Tiger's
It is really amazing that he was able to do it.
It was,
after what
yeah.
he went through.
No,
Okay,
yeah.
so back to Yankees trivia.
But he made it about himself, I feel like.
Do you think he's making it about himself? I'm asking because I don't really watch any golf media. But my impression of all the other media is that they're so interested. Like the non-golf media is like, oh, Tiger might be golfing. We're really interested in that. And
maybe it brings
I don't actually know enough.
it brings
whether
the
to
whole
blame
sport
him or
up.
not.
It brings
So
the whole sport up.
I
It
did
does.
hear that argued, actually, that following week, that on the Levitard show, one of the producers said, I would bet that the other golfers like that because the more attention is drawn to it, the bigger the pots are.
That's true.
Tiger's not winning, So all he's doing is giving the winners more money.
That's a good point. That's an excellent point.
Yeah.
And I, like I said, I don't watch golf media, so I don't know if Coach K made a big deal about he made that a
That's
big deal.
true.
I think the
I don't
thing
know
with-
if Tiger's making it a big deal or if literally he can't do anything
The
without being
the
a big
Masters
deal.
is
That's a
like
good point.
the
That's a very good
tournament.
distinction.
And if you're coming back from an injury, most guys would want to play like one or two other tournaments before you go to the Masters. So I think from that aspect,
He did also, didn't he? It was like kind of a last, like he was like, I don't know if I'm going to play.
Yeah,
or
he
not.
played it out all
Yeah,
week.
That's true.
no, I don't
That
know
is
if
true.
Tuesday. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to play.
Yeah. He
Then
knew.
did. He knew.
He knew.
He knew.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yankees trivia.
Yeah. No.
Question number 1.
I almost cheered that. Ew.
Between 1990,
Oh, dang it.
between 1998 and 2001, the Yankees appeared in every World Series, winning 3 of the 4.
That's trash.
They knocked the record-breaking 116-win Mariners out of the playoffs in the ALCS in
What are you
2001.
doing? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? You're the worst.
Did that 2001 Yankees team, after knocking the Mariners out of the playoffs, go on to win the World Series?
I don't like you very much. You know what's worse?
What?
They went to the World Series in '98.
Yes.
Have you seen the Mariners '98 lineup?
Yeah. We've talked about this a lot. They were real good. They had multiple guys on that team who'd be considered GOATs at what they did.
Yep. Multiple.
Yeah. In their primes, some of them.
Well, I feel like that's part of why being a Mariners fan has been so difficult. It isn't just like for the last 20 years they've been bad. For the last 30 years they've been unable to win when they were good, which is arguably even more frustrating.
Yeah. They, to answer your question, I believe the Yankees did win the World Series that year.
Well, you're wrong.
Darn it.
They did not. They
Good.
lost to Randy Johnson's Arizona Diamondbacks.
Oh, yeah, and Mariano Rivera blew it in the last inning.
Most overrated player in the history of all sports.
Yes!
Way to get Daniel on board with
Luis Gonzalez.
So you missed the first question, but you're celebrating like you got it right.
Craig Counsell. I hedged my bets. I hedged my bets by saying they won it, so it was win-win either way.
So
I either
I-
got the question right or I was happy that they lost.
So I mentioned that in that span, the Yankees
We're real good.
were real good.
Yep.
Immediately following that, the Mariners started a long playoff drought. So during the Mariners' 20-year playoff drought, how many times have the Yankees appeared in the World Series? Because this has been a long like the Yankees were champion, always in the playoffs, always making the World Series, and there's been kind of a long stretch of less success.
It's true. But since 2001,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they've made it at least once when A-Rod was there, didn't they?
Okay.
So I'm going to say once.
They actually appeared in the World Series twice. They lost to the Marlins in 2003, and they won the World Series against Philadelphia in 2009. You're 0 for 2 on Yankees trivia. I'm sure you feel real bad
I
about
feel
that.
so terrible about this.
Next Yankees trivia question. Who was the last Yankee to win the AL MVP
You
award?
paused at a weird spot there. Who's the last Yankee? It's like, did something happen that I didn't know about?
Who was the last Yankee to win the AL
MVP.
MVP award? So I paused at a weird spot again. Did it on purpose that time.
It'd make me happy if it was the person I'm thinking because Yankees fans generally don't like him. It would make me less happy if it was the other guy that I'm thinking about because he then came and pooped on our franchise after he was a Yankee. I'm going to say Alex Rodriguez.
Who was the other guy you were thinking of?
Robinson Cano.
It is Alex Rodriguez.
Aha!
The Yankees haven't had an MVP since 2007. But I would like to point out that over a 5-year stretch, Alex Rodriguez won 3 MVP awards, all with teams that were not the Mariners. He won 1 with the Rangers and 2 with the Yankees. But you got that one right.
Did he ever win one for the Mariners?
No.
Because he was
nope,
stupid good for the Mariners,
he did
too.
not. I looked back in history at Mariner MVPs, and I found a Griffey one and the Ichiro one.
It's kind of crazy to me that...
I didn't go back really far, though. I only went back into the 90s, so I don't know if there were any before that. I wouldn't guess no.
I'll wait till after Stump Daniel, I think. But I'm really curious to see who won the MVPs when A-Rod was just ridiculous for the Mariners.
Yeah, there was some Juan Gonzalez in there. I think Jim Thome had one.
Okay.
You're talking about late 90s?
Yeah, late 90s.
Yeah, I want to say it was a couple of Juan Gons and a Jim Thome, if
Okay.
I remember correctly.
Forgot
'Cause
one-
I was looking at the exact same thing.
Okay.
Like, how did A-Rod not win an MVP
Yeah.
during those late 90s years?
Yeah.
And there was
Gotcha.
other guys that were doing really big
Gosh,
stuff
so they
then,
had-
and on steroids. So
Sorry, you just got me really depressed again because I was thinking that Ken Griffey Jr. MVP level, A-Rod MVP level, Edgar Martinez. No, sorry.
okay, I have
Next question.
one last question for you, and the structure on this one's a little different because I'm going to ask you the question, and then if you get it right on the first try, you'll get 5 points, and then I have 4 hints. So at each hint, you lose a point.
All right.
Okay,
I-
you're 1 for 3 so far.
I'm tracking.
Miguel Cabrera recorded his 3,000th career hit last week.
Yes.
The next active player who may have a shot at that mark is a former Yankee. Who is he?
A former Yankee.
Baseball players, and I guess all athletes, but especially baseball players, move so much, it could be like literally anyone. But if you want...
Yeah, but I generally have the Yankees are so over publicized that I generally have a good idea of who's played for the Yankees before.
Okay. It's not Jesus Montero. There's your hint.
He's eating cupcakes.
It's also not Dustin Ackley. Just so you know.
Or Ichiro.
Or Ichiro.
Wait, did Ichiro get to 3,000 hits?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did Ackley play for the Yankees?
Yeah, for a minute.
I didn't
Ackley
realize
Ackley
that.
went straight to the Yankees from the Mariners, didn't
Oh, I didn't realize that. I wiped as
I think
much of him as
Ichiro-
possible from my memory.
he? I think that the Marlins hung on to Ichiro long enough for him to get to 3,000 hits, and that's like the only reason why they kept him around. Considering he played 9 years in Japan before coming to America,
It's
the
insane.
fact that he got to 3,000 hits is stupid.
It is stupid.
I'd kind of like to see what he'd do now. I'm
Didn't
sure he
he-
wouldn't be nearly as good, but
Didn't he break the hits record in his first season?
In his first season? You mean for single season?
Yeah.
No. He did break it, but not
It
in
wasn't
his
in his
first
first season?
No.
Okay. No cheating. I see you on your phone there.
Sorry, yeah, I'm looking up Ichiro total hits. No, don't give him 4,000.
Mariners and Royals are in the 10th inning, tied 3-3, by the way.
Oh, they tied it up?
Yeah.
Darn it. If you combined his seasons in Japan, he had 4,367 hits.
How many did he have just in the majors?
This Google is stupid and it didn't give me that.
Google search Ichiro Major League Baseball hits. Siri won't let us down.
But didn't you say Google?
Wait, what? Are we still on this last
I'm
question?
gonna. I'll say Robinson Cano just because I can't think of anybody else.
Oh my God, you're right. I did not expect you to get that on the first try. Did you pick up on the fact that all of the questions had a Mariners tie and you were trying to pull that in?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
He was honestly the only former Yankee I could think of that was older and also had a really good career. But I almost didn't pick him because he's missed so much time due to suspension.
Guys, he had 2 full seasons suspension.
Something like that.
I'm incredibly impressed that you got that. You actually kind of like, you were on a really bad track with the first 3 questions,
I
but
was.
you pretty much redeemed the whole segment by getting that right. I'm just going to read out the hints that I was going to say.
Okay.
2,630 career hits, and he's in his 17th season. I believe he's 39.
2000. How many?
630. So it's going to
Okay.
be tough for him to get there, but if he hangs on for a few more years, he could potentially get there. Started his career with the Yankees. Currently plays for the Mets. Played 5 seasons in Seattle. I think if I had told you started his career with the Yankees, currently plays with the Mets, you definitely would have got it then.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have needed played 5 seasons in Seattle, but I'm just impressed.
Did he actually play 5 seasons in Seattle? Wasn't it like 4.5?
Yeah, I think it was 4.5. Yeah, I believe it was 4.5.
In Seattle for 5 seasons.
Yeah.
All right.
That concludes Stump Daniel. So you got 5 points on that one. 6 out. So you got 6 out of a potential 8.
I'm disappointed in myself.
But you went from being 1 for 3 to being 6 for 8.
I guess maybe I shouldn't be disappointed in myself because I got those right because they had Mariners ties.
They all had Mariners ties. That
So-
was the hook.
So
I couldn't just do Yankees trivia because people that listen to our show, nobody except Francis would care about that.
Exactly. So I guess because there's Mariners ties, I shouldn't be disappointed in myself that I got that many questions right.
No.
Ichiro, by the way, had 3,089 Major League Baseball hits.
That's quite a few.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Commercial break.
Oh, what? Ow.
Surprised me on that
I did
one.
the Daniel thing.
I'm not that bad.
Do you have a legal situation and need someone on your side? Let the law office of Jeffrey A. Damashevitz be your advocate. If you've been the victim of medical malpractice, suffered a personal injury, or need representation with real estate law, small business law, or estate planning, let Jeff Damashevitz put his 29 years of experience to work for you. Call Jeff Damashevitz today at 360-612-3991 or visit damashevitzlaw.com. That's DAMASIEWICZLAW.com.
Now you say you're not usually that bad, but I'm pretty sure
I
you've
that
done
bad?
that exact thing before.
No.
Andrew.
No.
It feels like commercial break. I don't think you're doing it intentionally. I don't know if that makes it worse or
I
better.
think he does it on purpose.
the grunt beforehand. That makes
Commercial break.
we're listening.
Oh, yes.
We're listening to. It could be Strong
It
Bad.
could be strong bad.
Yeah, we're listening to a children's book series, which
Is it Homestar Runner?
no, it's called the Redwall books,
Redwall books.
and there's like mice. It's all about rodents, like mice and rats and shrews.
that's pretty
and
amazing
stuff
because
like
you
that.
had a harrowing experience with a rat.
I did.
you told us all
Yes.
about it.
Yeah,
That's
but
okay. Rats are bad guys.
all
generally.
of the moles have an accent where it's like they like grr before, so it's like arr. I like soup. Like it's weird.
Oh,
so like
Also,
you can tell.
all of the Redwall books are about food.
Yes, there's so much food in it. So
I would love to read books about food.
So the moles always start by saying like "er." So when you said "er," commercial break, I was like, was I a mole when I said
If
that?
I ever read a book, it's going to be a book about food. I'm just saying.
If you
I can't think about many things that I would want to read a book about, but I read a book about food.
ever about food,
Does the food come out of the book? Like you open the pages and some bacon falls out?
I could get behind that book.
Like there's a little secret compartment with some chocolate?
Okay, Strong Bad.
Okay.
Okay, I think you've had enough. Although I found homestarrunner.com YouTube channel recently, so it just pops up on my feed every now and then. It's good stuff.
They have a good TikTok too.
Do they really?
Yeah, little bite-sized chunks of stuff that, yeah.
Good stuff. Speaking of
Are they
TikTok,
making new content, or are they just
rehashing old stuff.
Moving
redoing that
on.
stuff?
We should get to the
Hey.
Holy Pen Real Estate Athlete of the Week. Daniel, do you have a selection?
I do have a selection. It's from a nomination that we had. Not that this person... First of all, we're pretty sure that this person... Are you looking this up again?
I'm going
for
to
me?
try again.
Okay, so this person dominated her events in the all-county meet, the Grace Harbor all-county meet. What is it? The Ray... What's it called? What's the full name of it? Is that the Ray Burns? Ray Robert? No, Ray Robert?
I should remember this.
I feel horrible. I can't believe I just butchered that.
Let's start
I'm
over again.
Now I'm trying to look it up really quick. The Ray Ryan. Ray Ryan Memorial Grace Harbor Championships
I don't
on
feel
Friday.
bad a lot. I feel bad about not remembering that.
I feel bad about not remembering that
Bad
too.
job by me.
Anyway, she dominated her events there. We're also pretty sure that she did really good in the Chehalis Activator. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Tournament that was this weekend. We're trying to find official results on that though. But it was
got it.
sweet. So she was also nominated on our Facebook post to be the athlete of the week by my friend Aaron Pell on Facebook, nominating Tyara Straka as our Ole Penn Real Estate Athlete of the Week. She set the record for shot put. She broke Jordan Spradlin's record at the Grace Harbor All-County Championships. Was that last weekend, 2 weekends ago?
It was like Thursday or Friday
Gotcha.
the week before last.
Now, she hasn't beat Jordan's state record because Jordan set her personal record at state.
It was over 48 feet, which is bonkers.
Yeah, but she did beat her record at this track meet with a heave of 45 feet even.
Yes.
So, and she has signed to go on
Oklahoma.
to play at Oklahoma to do
on
track
a
at Oklahoma.
full ride track scholarship, which if you don't understand how non-football sports scholarships work, that's really rare.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So Tyara followed that up at the Activator this week by taking first place with a throw of 43 feet 1 inch in the shot put.
Okay.
She also won the discus at 130 feet 1 inch. And do you know what the disc throw was from the All Grays Harbor County meet? She finished first in that too. I don't remember how far the throw was. But basically, Tyara could be the athlete of the week every week with her accomplishments. And also, I was told that a couple things. One is they had a little ceremony, which was like a kind of a letter of intent signing ceremony where Carly Freeman made a little video for her that they played for everyone.
Oh,
and
that's
then also,
really cool.
This is a name some people might remember. Do people know Tara Novi?
Yeah,
From
down at
Montesano,
USC.
From Montesano that went on to compete at USC, who's one of the greatest throwers we've ever had from our area. So Tyara, Carly, and Tara were all trained by Tiara's dad. So he trained all three of those girls. They've all the two of them have gone on to big success at the collegiate level, and Tiara's on that track as well. So they both made nice little videos for her that they played for everyone. And it sounds like, from what I was told, it was a real nice touching ceremony where, she said a few words and just got some encouragement from people. But also this 45-foot throw, first of all, that's insane.
Yeah.
Like 45 feet is so far. And when I was trying to compare it to what Jordan Spradlin did, because I can't remember the exact number, but her throw at state, which was her PR her senior year, was over 48 feet.
That's nuts.
And 45 to 48 in shot put is a huge difference. But I was told that the way Straka trains his throwers, I don't know what the strategy of it is or how he does it, but there's been a history and a tendency of them ramping up at the end of the year. So pretty much everyone he's trained throws their best at state.
That's so cool.
So it's very reasonable to think that with all the success that Tiara's had now, even though she's a few feet off of hitting that mark, that she could still get there in a few weeks by the time state rolls around.
That's awesome.
So be looking for that. We
Yeah.
could have her as the athlete of the week again a couple of times between now and then.
For sure.
Tyara Straka, very deserving.
And she did win the discus with 122-06 at the Grace Harbor. So I went and found that what we asked of it. When it comes to ramping up, Andrew's experience of that with swimming, you guys did a similar
I was gonna
thing,
say,
right?
I'm not sure how track works exactly, but I imagine it's similar. And with swimming, how tired you are generally has, like, your training in the weeks prior has a lot to do with your performance. So when we were swimming in high school, if guys already had qualified for state, they would still be like swimming hundreds of laps through districts. And then in the week and a half or so before that meet that we call it tapering. They might call it something else, but like you would have set amounts of you'd reduce the amount of laps that you were swimming as you go on, and for like the last couple days, early on in a taper, oftentimes it would be enough that like you'd get cold symptoms and stuff. Like,
Weird.
you were just exhausting your body. Ridiculous, just just going and going and going
Yeah.
and going. And at the end of it, legitimately, it was hard to stay still. Like, you're just, like, you've been swimming for miles and miles and miles, and then on the last few days, you're like warming up and stretching.
And that's
it. And you're just like, oh, I'm so ready to go.
So then you get ready to for state, and you're just amped.
Exactly. So if track is anything like that, which it makes sense that a lot of it would be similar.
Yeah.
So I assume they do stuff like that. Although throwing, I believed anyone that told me, like, if somebody knew what they were talking about and they told me, yeah, it works like that, I'd be like, wow, that's awesome. It doesn't seem obvious that it does, though.
Yeah, for throwing.
Yeah.
For something that's instead of...
Well, it would be
Like, it
more
doesn't
like
take much
lifting
cardio.
and weight training and
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be more like if you're trying to get a max lift, I feel
Right.
like.
yeah. But
Yeah.
that's a good insight. That totally
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, so Tyara Straka, definitely deserving stud athlete. So excited to see what she does the rest of this year. And then also, you better believe that we'll be following what she does when she's at Oklahoma, just like we've given you some updates about Carly Freeman and Tara Novi over the years, and also Jordan Spradlin, who's currently at Oregon State doing track there. So, all right, it's time for our local sports roundup.
Oh.
Commercial break. Elma softball notched its first win of the season on Saturday with a 13-10 win over Montesano.
Wow.
Carly Gay and Janessa Sample each recorded 2 hits, scored a run, and drove in 2 for the Eagles. Brooklyn Swartz added 3 runs on 3 walks and a base hit. Maddie Campbell had a fantastic day at the dish for Montesano, going 4 for 4 with a home run, a double, 3 runs scored, and 4 RBI.
Wow.
And lost.
Dang. Sticking with softball, Aberdeen scored at least 1 run in all 6 innings on Friday en route to a 12-9 win over Centralia. Marin Bruner recorded 2 hits and drove in 3 runs for the Bobcats, who improved to 5-3 in the Evergreen 2A League play with the victory. Lily Camp pitched the whole game for Aberdeen, allowing just 2 hits. I'm having trouble reading here. Allowing just 2 earned runs and striking out 13 batters.
I think I remember seeing that Aberdeen softball team is 3rd in the Evergreen 2A and 14th overall in the state RPI right now. So that
Nice.
2A league is brutal.
Yeah.
Really tough. Montesano baseball remained undefeated in league play with a 4-0 win over Elma on Friday. Isaac Pierce threw a complete game, 2-hit shutout with 13 strikeouts. Sophomore shortstop Bodie Polar was the only player to record multiple hits for either team. Polar had 2 hits, including a double, and scored 1 run. Isaiah Pierce also hit a double and scored a run for the Bulldogs.
They got to play up in Cheney Stadium recently.
Yeah, they did.
That's super cool.
Lost there.
Hunter, I've got more on that later. Hunter Isley pitched 6 innings on Friday, allowing 1 run and 2 hits while striking out 11 batters and leading Aberdeen to a 6-1 win over Black Hills. Take that, Black Hills. The Bobcats scored 3 runs in the first inning on a 2-run double by Marco Ballesteri, who came around to score on the play due to a pair of Black Hills errors.
A little update in soccer. Aberdeen got a goal from senior forward Miguel Martinez and a clutch save from goalkeeper Antonio Granados to snap Red Hot Rochester's 4-match win streak with a 2-1 penalty kick shootout victory on Friday in Aberdeen. Aberdeen is now 8-2-1 overall, 7-2 in Evergreen League play. Thank you to the Daily World for a lot of the updates on these stats. Really appreciate the work they do covering these local sports.
Absolutely, that's going to do it for our local sports roundup. Justin, what I was going to say is...
You hate Black Hills.
I do hate Black Hills.
It like oozes out of your pores how much you hate Black Hills.
It's so weird. I think it stems from my senior year of
It
basketball.
100% does.
They were a bunch of tools, and their student section was really rowdy, which good on them for being rowdy, but it did not help me like them anymore at the time.
Every time you say Black Hills, you like spit it. You're like, Black Hills.
It's like Lewis County.
Lewis County. Black Hills. I didn't even think of that when I was writing it. I could have switched it so that you read a different one and I read that one, but it made me laugh.
Oh, man.
I want to go back and listen
So-
to it because as you were reading it, you were like, Aberdeen to a 6-1 win over Black Hills. Oh, good. Black Hills. Oh.
So, a while ago, I had applied for a job in Lewis County, and I was like, could I move to Lewis County? And my conclusion was no. I would move somewhere to East County and commute.
Yeah. I feel the heaviness every time I pass the "You are now entering Lewis County" sign. Every time we drive by it, I'm like, oh. And at this point, my wife used to ask me about it. Now she just knows.
Yeah, exactly.
They should just change that sign to say, "You are now entering Screw Us County."
Yes, exactly. There it is. That's what it is. So when the Bulldogs played at Cheney Stadium, A, that's awesome. That's super cool. That's where the Rainiers play. B, one of my old college teammates who I haven't heard from in years, like probably close to 10 years, texted me and was like, hey, is Montesano any good?
What?
Apparently he and his brother are helping coach the team they played against. And he knew that I was one of the local guys from Grace Harbor, so he thought that he'd hit me up for
You
some
didn't
information.
tell him anything, did you?
I said that they were the best team around here and that Bodie Polar's real good. That's what I told him.
Bodie Bowler's real good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
East
then
Bone.
also my boss, Pat, got to go do the PA announcing at the
Oh,
game.
I saw that.
Yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
that was pretty cool. Yeah, so and now commercial break. My crutches just fell off.
At Oli Penn Real Estate, we have solidified our foundation on 4 core values. First, we continuously focus on growing our knowledge in the market and in our practices to bring the highest level of competency to our clients. Second, we provide a high level of integrity, compassion, and kindness in every aspect of our business. Third, we put the human element above business through humor, enthusiasm, and patience. And last but not least, we proactively respond to the needs of our clients. Our mission is to create a personal real estate experience, one person and one home at a time. With Oli Penn, it's personal.
Thank you again to our sponsors.
Quick update on
Oh.
the Mariners game.
Oh.
On 6 pitches, Jesse Winker is 2-2.
Okay.
Nope, that's 6 pitches. I'm not sure. Oh, he's been fouling them off. That could happen, right?
It could be.
This feels like a weird update.
It's a weird
I'm sorry.
update.
France, we're in the bottom
What's
of the 10th.
going on?
We're in the bottom of the 10th. France hit a single, and the Ghost Runner is on third. I don't know who it is. Ghost Runner's on third, and Ty France is on fourth, and Jesse Winker is battling
On
at the
fourth?
plate. First, on first.
He's on home plate. He's on fourth base. Okay.
I did say before the show that I needed the TV somewhere where we could all see it.
Just
Yes.
make sure that
How
you
many
keep,
outs are there?
There are no outs.
Make
I
sure
thought
that
I
you
said that
keep
to begin
giving
with.
us
You might have.
updates about
okay.
the count on Winker and how many foul balls he hits.
I know that he's hit 2 more since I started talking.
Okay, gotcha. I'm not going to say that you didn't say how many outs there were. I didn't remember. So
I could have not also.
Okay. Thank you again to our sponsors, Oli Penn Real Estate and the law office of Jeffrey A. Damashevitz, because now we are an LLC. Boom. We're a real thing now.
Take that, haters.
Also, I'd really like it if Olympia Orthopedic would sponsor us.
Get a little bit of free swag.
Can I get some free medical equipment, or maybe I don't need a free surgery
Free
though.
physical therapy.
Free doctors
Daniel
follow up
needs mental therapy.
Therapy.
I don't need surgery though. For those of you who don't know, I tore my Achilles. It feels exactly how you've heard it described. Have you ever heard? For those who don't know out there on the podcast land, it feels like someone kicked you in the leg. It's so
Are
weird.
you sure that someone did not kick you in the leg?
I'm fairly certain. I feel like the kid behind me would have said something, but it's super weird. It feels like impact.
Or somebody who was watching would have said, "Hey, that kid kicked you in the leg."
Yeah, something. Yeah. But no, nobody said that. So
That's the way it's always described.
yeah.
My friend Josh, when he was in college, tore his Achilles, and he said, Yeah, it felt like somebody kicked me in the back of the leg, and then I just fell over.
Yep, that's exactly that's exactly what happened. I was running around the bases, so we're kind of in our mailbag segment here. But I was stupidly, first of all, doing conditioning with the Babe Ruth team that I'm coaching, helping coach, and then I was like, okay, I'll run around the bases too. And then the fast kid started running up behind me, and I was like, oh no, I can't let this kid pass me. And so I started to run faster, and on my second step, somebody kicked me in the leg.
Yeah.
And I just ate it.
Did I tell you I got a voice text message from the head coach on your team saying, I don't care what Daniel tells you, I am not responsible for that Achilles tear. He did that on his own. I didn't tell him to do it.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Winker hit a sack fly, and
so we
it's
won?
now tied 4-4.
Oh, we were down a run
Yes.
going, oh, that would have been.
How many foul balls did
Sorry.
he hit?
A lot. When I
More than
started
one, but
talking,
less than
when
10?
I started talking to you, the guy had 12 pitches. Now he has 17 pitches.
That's
wow.
5 more.
So 4 of those were fouls.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
So, so I tore my Achilles, but I don't need surgery. And I think it's partially because I mistakenly waited so long to go to the doctor that it started to heal. But apparently, sometimes when you tear your Achilles, it can do the thing that terrified me, which it, like rubber band, like snaps up into your calf and it like balls up in there and it's super gross.
Yeah.
But apparently it can sometimes snap and not go that far.
That's good news.
So that's what happened. It snapped, but it didn't go that far.
And it turned a bunch of pretty colors.
It did turn. Yeah, it was yellow last
a
week.
lot of pretty colors or just one ugly color?
So
Possibly.
it started to heal. And the surgeon was pleased with how it's healing so far after
good
looking
news.
at the MRI. So
That's
yeah,
good news.
no.
You know what
no
the other
surgery.
thing I always think of when I hear Achilles? So I work at a job where I'm a delivery driver.
Okay.
And there was a point very early in my career. So this was probably like, oh God, I'm dating myself here. But it was probably about 15 years ago.
You're dating.
Wow, you're old.
I was gonna say, how do you date yourself?
Well, we just
That's
all need to
kinda-
love ourselves.
Okay.
And the first step to that is dating.
Okay.
So sometimes I take myself out to a nice dinner and then ice cream. But
Okay.
anyway.
And then he doesn't
so
call
this
himself
was-
back in the morning.
This was quite a while ago. But one of my supervisors went on like this training, like he flew across the country for some training thing with a bunch of other supervisors. And this is one of those things, you guys ever have ones where like you've heard a story told so much that you don't remember if you were in the room or you were there when it happened
Yeah.
or if you're just hearing the story?
Yeah,
So
no.
this is one of those for me.
Gotcha.
I was either there or I heard about it so many times that I feel like I was there.
Okay.
But when he was over on this trip, and, you know, just keeping in mind, number one, this is a job where people are driving. You don't know what kind of training they're doing over there. Also, there was airplanes involved because he had to fly across the country. And the person who answers the phones in the office took a call,
Okay.
gets off the phone, is very distraught, and is going, oh my gosh, it's Mike. And we're all like, what? What's wrong? And there's like 3 mics that work in our building. And we're like,
You're like,
which Mike? What are you talking
Is it
about?
the mic we like or the one we don't care about?
It's Mike. He tore his Hercules. So now, every time someone tears their Achilles, I want to go, you tore your Hercules! Every time.
Hercules. Oh, that's good stuff.
Yeah. Since we're in mailbag.
Yes,
and
we are.
There's not a question in there that I feel like I
The
really want to jump on.
mailbag.
Yes, the
Send us your
mailbag.
stuff. Send us your stuff in a mailbag.
Since we're in the mailbag,
Yes.
I want to ask you guys, we took a break last week for Easter.
Yes.
What are like the biggest family traditions that you guys have
For Easter? Hmm.
Because I think mine's weird, and I didn't realize it was weird until like 2 years ago.
Well, now I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
My family didn't have too many traditions around Easter besides like I think we did baskets every now and then, but again, I'm the youngest by a lot, so I think a lot of traditions kind of fall away by the time that I get to an age where I'd remember it. Mm-hmm. But ham dinner tends to be the thing.
Yeah.
And then I've done a decent amount of egg decorating growing up.
You
Did
guys
some-
do egg battles?
No. I didn't even do that many egg hunts because, again, I was so much the youngest. And all my cousins that we would normally see, like I went a long period of time without seeing the cousins that were closer to my age. So nobody really did egg hunts anymore when I would get to an age to remember it. So, yeah, we didn't do much for Easter around besides like having a nice dinner.
I feel like for us it was we used to go down to my grandpa and grandma's and there'd be like an egg hunt for the cousins and then the nice dinner.
Yeah.
So it was mostly just family dinner and decorating eggs.
I still decorate eggs with your family now. Yeah. Like that started even probably before.
Yeah, and I don't.
Yeah, but I always find myself over at your parents' house when they're decorating eggs. So now I do a bunch of egg dyeing with Andrew's parents.
My wife's family though shoots a lot of skeet on Easter.
I like your wife's family.
Me too.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
So when you guys picture Easter egg
and then
hunts,
obviously big dinner.
Yeah.
when you guys think of Easter egg hunts,
Yeah.
you think of like a casual thing that children do, where it's like, oh, out in the field, I'm finding Easter eggs.
Yeah. Well, there's.
I grew up doing it. You could only pick up one egg at a time, and it was all my cousins. Like I was younger among the cousins, but we did it until we were like mid-teens at least. So there was a lot of sprinting. You'd know where more eggs were because you'd see them, but you could only grab one at a time and sprint back to the
so you had. So
base.
I was curious. Like I was like, obviously you pick up one at a time, but you mean like
your egg baskets were the adults were watching them over them on the back porch, and you
Oh.
would find an egg, sprint back, put it in your thing, sprint back out.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
See,
there was.
I always thought of an egg hunt as like you have to search and find them, like they were hidden. And then I heard about all these things at like Olympic Stadium and stuff where it's just a mess of eggs and it was like a horde of kids would run out there and beat each other for them. There was a mix of the two. My sister-in-law, Jessica, organized a like neighborhood egg hunt in her front yard this year, which was really cool. So like we have a decent amount of little kids in our neighborhood. So they all came over and we did like a little tiny egg hunt. And I'm talking from like my son's age at 10 months to probably about...
Did he find a lot of eggs?
He found 2 eggs.
Nice.
He was very happy. He was shaking them like that. Up to Logan, my nephew, was the oldest kid, but he was so much older than the other kids that he didn't really do it because I think it was mainly like the oldest kid was like 4 years old.
Mariners didn't manage to score again, so it's 4-4 in the top of the 11th.
How many foul balls does Winker hit?
The same amount.
You know what? Okay. It's so cool. It speeds up the game so much that they have that ghost runner, because I mean that really helps so much, seeing as both teams can easily score a run. Sorry,
that's okay.
Anyway, your family is weird.
So
we wanted to provide more context of normal before we got to your weird.
Thank you.
Clearly, we're very normal.
This is the way we do kid Easter egg hunts right now, and I think this is actually my parents learning from their mistakes, because they organize with my children and with my nieces and nephews an Easter egg hunt in which each kid has a designated color. And you go find all the eggs that are your color, and you know how many there are. Everybody has 10, so there's no competition. But when I was a kid, an Easter egg hunt between me and my sisters, and I had 3, was an intense competition with pushing, shoving, tackling, and we were raised to believe that was okay.
See, for all the people saying my family was competitive, I feel like your family was darn near as competitive as mine growing up.
I've never met a family that I felt like overall was more competitive than mine.
Okay, good.
My dad is the most intensely competitive person I've ever met.
Good. 99%. You're the only
seems
person
so
who has...
chill.
You are literally the only person who has not finished that sentence with my family.
Yeah.
Everybody has said, I've never met a family as competitive as the Hargroves. Oh, okay. So I'm so excited right now.
On that topic,
so no wonder your
sister
dad
chimed in.
Oh, yeah?
And said that she almost spit-taked. You guys never had ham, weirdo.
Oh, really? So I'm so glad she's listening. But that totally makes sense, because your dad was my children's church teacher.
Yeah.
And when game time would happen, I would freak out about some things, and he handled me very well. So that makes sense.
He was used to raising me.
Yeah. Okay.
And my older sister, and most people don't know this because she is a very kind, mild-mannered, proper person.
Yes.
Is a freaking psychopath when she thinks she's going to lose something. She tried to trample me from behind during the Easter egg hunt. And this is the part that's weird because usually like there's a cutoff point where you don't do Easter egg hunts anymore.
Yeah. So
Well,
how old was she?
We still do them. I'm 36. She's 38.
This seems
And
normal
now
to
we're
me.
married. And we have
Not to each other.
spouses.
to other people.
We have spouses to bring into it.
Yes.
I have a cousin that lives a couple of hours away, and he and his wife will come join us.
Do your kids get involved in
The
this?
kids can't be in this; they'll die.
Well, I was thinking that
The
I was wondering if Peyton had trampled you
for the
yet.
first time this year, we let my oldest son and my sister's oldest son be a part of it. They got freaking smoked.
Wait, I thought you said they all had color-coded eggs that were
Poor
yours.
kids.
Well, there's a lot of kids, so there's 7 combined. So the 2 oldest got to do because now they're adult size. We're looking
so
at them
once
going.
they get to be a certain age, then you don't color-code it, and it's
Yeah.
just free-for-all?
There's 2 separate egg hunts.
Okay.
So first we do the kids egg hunt,
Wait,
where they go
your
outside.
oldest is like a junior or
Yeah, he's-
sophomore in high school, and he's just now.
This is his first time. Because we've looked
and
at
he
these
got,
kids
and, he got
we
smoked,
go,
probably because he's trying not to hurt his poor dad.
he wasn't not trying to hurt me. But the point is, like, we look at these kids now and we're like, okay, you're adult size. If I push you into a table and the back of your back hits the corner of the table, I'm gonna be able to step over you without guilt and go get the eggs. So I realized it took me, like, literally, guys, until about 2 years ago where I was like, wait, everybody doesn't do this?
This is weird.
People in their 30s don't have Easter egg hunts where they're pushing and shoving each other. I wounded myself on a cactus this year trying to reach for an egg. In case you guys were wondering.
Where were you for Easter?
My sister's house.
She has cactuses. Oh, okay.
She has some cacti in the windowsill, and my 12-year-old son thought, oh, this would be really funny. I'm going to hide an egg behind the cactus.
Makani is it.
Devious.
Makani's devious.
So who's the only person who's dumb enough to reach behind the cactus and get the egg? It's me.
Yep.
Who won the Easter egg hunt in a landslide? It's me.
So now I understand the conversation that we had around Easter, where you said that you were talking a bunch of smack to your oldest son, who then tackled you. Because you said,
tell that story?
yes, I want you to tell that story. I've been wondering
Angel just
what.
brought that up in the comments as well. She
Okay,
said
good.
that-
Because now I'm understanding that. I was like, because it was around Easter, and I'm like, what kind of setting were they in where Justin would be talking smack on Easter
Again.
that would lead to his son tackling
It
him?
doesn't register to me that that's not normal. So when I was telling you that story in my head, you were probably, I thought you were thinking, oh yeah, it was an Easter egg hunt. Of course you're going to get tackled in an Easter egg hunt. No, but what happened was, I have a bad habit of irrational confidence, and I have a hard time.
Me too, as we've previous conversations
I have
today.
a hard time admitting when my children get better than me at things. So with Peyton, a couple years ago, he passed me in speed like a couple years ago.
Yeah, kid's fast.
And there was a point where we were at a picnic with like his baseball team or something. And so a bunch of my friends were there, a bunch of his friends were there, and he was talking crap to me.
Yeah.
About how he was faster than me. And I was like, you're not faster than me. I could beat any one of you kids in a race.
Yep.
A foot race, short foot race, I'll beat any one of you in a race. And he was like, okay, fine, let's go. And I was like, oh, I mean, we probably should start packing up and maybe head out. And he's like, no. And then my wife's like, no, we got time. We got time. Wait, go ahead, go do your race.
Well done, Angel.
So
well
we go
done.
out to this open field. And it's like, okay, we're going to race from here to here.
What was the age group? 13?
12,
13,
13-ish, 13-ish, somewhere in that range.
This is about the last time that I raced my dad.
So
Okay.
I remember
we
that.
decided to race. We get off the blocks.
Yep.
I was like, oh, crap, we're neck and neck. A few more steps. Oh, shoot, he's beating me. A few more steps. Oh, crap, my hamstring. And I crumpled to the ground after Everyone had just witnessed the fact that he was already ahead of me.
Oh, no.
And then I tweaked my hamstring.
That's terrible.
So this is an example of my irrational confidence, which leads to, and also like I'm telling him, I know that Tice shot 35% on 3-pointers in varsity basketball this year, but he couldn't beat me in a 3-point contest. And then every time Tice is like, we should do it. When do you want to do it? I'll be like, oh man, I'm really busy. I don't know. But that's the kind of stuff. So Easter,
Yeah.
he's like, I was talking all kinds of crap about how I was going to win the Easter egg hunt because obviously it's the highlight of the day. It's the
Well,
most
you did.
important thing. Yeah, I did.
You did.
And he's like, well, what if I just tackle you? And I was like, you wouldn't be able to. And he said, I mean, what if I just do it, though, when you're not looking? And I was like, I don't care if I'm looking or not. You will not be able to get me to the ground. And I wouldn't let it go. So finally he was
You
like...
wouldn't let it go, not
he was
him.
like,
Yeah.
this kid played varsity football last year.
Yeah.
And he's a linebacker.
Yep.
And somehow in my head, it doesn't register to... Because this isn't just me talking. I think this. I actually think he could try to tackle me, but I wouldn't go down. So finally...
Have you seen your son lately? Because I have. And
Powerlifting.
he's not a small kid anymore.
No.
He's a freaking man.
He's my height, and he's in better shape than I've ever been in my life. He does powerlifting. He's really strong.
Yeah.
And those things don't register. So I was like... Okay, he wouldn't shut up about it. So I was like, fine, you know what? You can tackle me. I'll give you $10 if you can tackle me. You're not going to be able to take me to the ground. And he was like, wait, really? And I was like, yeah, I was so confident about it. I was like, I'm not going to have to give you $10. You're not going to be able to take me down. And he's like, well, what are the rules? And I said, rules? What do you mean rules?
Such a sweetheart.
He's such a nice
And
kid.
this is where my wife steps in and says, you better not break anything in your aunt and uncle's house. I said, okay, one rule, don't break any of Aunt Heidi and Uncle Josh's stuff. That's the only rule.
Good.
It happened that shortly after that, while the kids were... we didn't even get into our Easter egg hunt yet. The kids were doing their Easter egg hunt. And I'm being mild-mannered and normal and kind.
Okay.
And Peyton won't let it go. He's like, I'm going to tackle you. And I was like, no, you're not. And he's like, well, I'm going to do it like this. And so he like lined up like he was going to tackle me. And I decided this is my chance to really show him how much stronger I am.
Yeah.
So I grabbed him and I put him in a headlock.
As dads do.
And he was like, okay, you're going to put me in a headlock. He made me show him on my phone where I transferred $10 from my account to his account.
Nice. So my dad had a similar experience with me.
I have also been tackled by your
with
dad.
the race. Yeah, that's true. When I was about 13, I was feeling very confident, and I was like, I'm going to beat my dad in a race. And I think there's other kids in the race, too. I think our friend Greg might have been in the race. Were you in the race, Andrew? You were there.
I was watching.
You were watching.
I
You were
never
smart.
thought that I was fast.
Yeah, I thought I was real fast. So I took off. We were racing my dad. It couldn't have been more than like a 30-yard race. So it was pretty short. But we took off, and I was ahead to start. Like, I got a good jump. And I'm running. I'm pretty fast for a 13-year-old. I'm running, and then all of a sudden, my dad hits a gear that I had never seen before, and he goes motoring by me like a flash, like I was standing still. And then before he hits the finish line, he blows both groins. But and he fell across the finish line before I could get there. And he's just like, my groins.
I vividly remember that, both because it was incredibly impressive seeing Mr. Hargrove run that fast and then such a spectacular finish.
But he won.
He won.
He got across the
He didn't just win. He blew us away. But he paid for it.
Angel chimed into the chat to say that
Still listen to what she
the
said.
picnic that Justin lost that race in was the same picnic that she hit a home run in wiffle ball.
That's true. Oh, all of the young teen boys were so impressed by the mom who hit a wiffle ball home run.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. I've seen Angel hit. She hits bombs.
Also,
There's
I
also
did
a whole
not hit
discussion
home run that day.
about how brave Heidi is, your sister, to allow this to take place in her house.
It's a good point.
She's the worst one. She's the one who tried to run me over from behind when we were going into the egg hunt. I'm the sane one. She's the psycho.
You're the sane one.
All right. As much as this is my favorite topic, and I feel like we have so many, I could talk about this for another hour, but thankfully I get to ride in the car with you for another hour, so we'll get to talk about this more. But Justin, this is the first time we've been on the show together since the end of March Madness.
Oh, yeah.
So, we have something we need to discuss.
What do you mean?
You lost the bet. I beat you in our bracket challenge.
In my defense, I really didn't think I was going to lose.
No. But I did. I won.
I was kind of hoping you were going to just forget.
No. Are you kidding? Are you kidding?
Well, it's been a couple weeks.
The things you have made me do over the years. Do you really think that I would forget? You have lost once. Once. And you had to wear a Duke hat for a week.
Yeah.
That was a pretty harsh punishment.
Oh, yeah, because you were in a family picture with a Duke hat, if I remember
It's
correctly.
the best picture that I have with my baby niece.
That's so sad.
Yeah, it was really bad.
I was going to say that my punishment of having to do the Kaepernicking stuff was way worse because you made it into an immortal video that has somehow stayed the top of our channel for like forever. It's really frustrating. But you lost. First of all, we need to probably get the prize to the person who won. Did we say we were going to do a prize this year?
Yeah, we did. I got so distracted.
Because you lost?
No, because
He's been working on his TikTok dances.
So Trevor Perkins won. Who's Trevor Perkins?
Trevor, identify yourself.
Trevor, we need to figure that out because we owe him a lot of stuff.
We will put a social media post out to say, Trevor Perkins, please let us know who you are because you're the winner and we need to get you a prize.
He picked Kansas to win. He beat Joshua's swell bracket.
Am I the commissioner of that
by
league?
1 point.
I think I am.
If whoever the commissioner of that league is should be able to just contact that person through YouTube. You right? I think.
What?
Through Yahoo.
There we go. Thank
There
you.
you go.
So yeah, but Justin, the bet was it 1,000 likes?
I thought it was 10,000 likes.
Well, no, it definitely wasn't that.
The bet was the loser had to do a TikTok dance every week until they totaled 1,000 likes.
Yeah, that was the thing.
Now, I got a how-to video of how to do a TikTok dance.
Which one is it?
I don't know. I've never been I'm not a TikTok person. This guy's doing... So, this guy's doing... Yeah, okay, he's saying... Hey, that's how you do a head
I could do all
motion.
that. I could do all that.
You know what? This guy's really boring.
Yeah, super boring.
Yeah.
Anyway. Here's the thing, though. I was... strongly considering exercising the buyout clause.
So I did not
verbal agreement. There was fine print in the verbal agreement.
I don't remember this buyout clause, but you have mentioned a couple things that I think might benefit me more than my personal enjoyment of watching you do stupid TikTok dances.
Okay, so my buyout clause offer was you guys come over for a 3-course meal where steak is the main entree. And we'll have some kind of dessert that's prepared by my wife, and she's amazing.
So you say you guys.
Yeah.
I don't understand why Andrew's involved with this because he wasn't in part of the bet in the first place.
That's fair.
But I will allow him to be a part of it because I'm a nice guy.
I appreciate it.
Had he reacted differently, I would have argued. But okay, so 3-course meal.
Yes, 3-course meal.
Is that it?
Steak and some kind of dessert and some kind of appetizer.
Okay.
Are
like
you gonna
some homemade mozzarella
provide-
sticks.
Wait, is dessert part of the 3 courses?
Yes.
Are
Do
you
we need to go 4 courses?
Might need to go 4 courses.
So we do like a homemade mozzie sticks,
Ooh.
then a soup, then a steak with some kind of veggie side like asparagus or potatoes or something, or both.
Okay.
And then a dessert.
Now, see, the tough part here, there's two things.
Okay.
A, I feel like your wife's going to be doing a lot of work in this.
I will cook the meat and the veggies.
And B, I'm assuming my wife's involved?
Yeah.
Which requires an added level of work.
Oh, that's no problem at all.
Because she cannot have cow dairy or gluten and really should probably stay away from processed sugar.
My wife has made some gluten-free desserts that will blow your mind.
Good. Okay. See, so I want my wife to be able to enjoy this as well, because you realize this punishment could have lasted like 6 months. So not only do I have to fully enjoy this, but I feel like my wife has to be able to fully enjoy this as well.
Agreed.
Okay.
There will be a
6
gluten-free
months
dessert.
I mean, you think he could get that many?
I don't know if he can get ring. He's not a very good dancer. It could have been pretty bad.
As this thing was winding down, when it became obvious that I was going to lose,
Yeah.
my teenage son started telling all of his friends. And I was like, what are you doing that for?
Are there dislikes on TikTok? Honest question. I don't have TikTok.
No,
Are
there's
there,
not.
There's no dis. Oh,
No.
What a trash platform.
So he was like, he starts telling all of his friends, oh, my dad's going to have to do a bunch of TikTok dances. I was like, what are you doing that for? He's like, Dad, I'm just trying to get you more likes, man. Trying to get you to your goal faster.
That's why I was wondering if
That was a lie.
So part of me wants to either add something. Hearing that,
Yeah.
that makes me. I mean, really, it makes me want to make you do the TikTok dances.
Yeah.
I have the option to exercise the bias.
Jewel,
I don't think you have that option.
Jules chimed in. She's claiming that her pen name is Trevor Perkins. She says, "Haven't you heard of Yonder or the Beaver Dam by Trevor Perkins?" So we have at least one claimant.
I guess she's the winner.
That's hilarious. That's really good. Part of me, so you're gonna have to add something to that. You can make an offer later, but my first offer is that you do one TikTok dance and we get the meal.
So my favorite part of this, in the end, I'm negotiating against myself here. But my favorite part of this is that instead of going, no, this was a bit that we did for the show, let's make sure that our listeners get a payoff. You're going, what can I do for me?
Justin, I don't think that Daniel views this as a bit for the show. I think that this is a bet between you two.
Exactly.
That might be the mistake you're making.
Because the smart play the thing I should do is be like, no, you have to do the TikTok dances, but I like a good steak dinner.
It's true. I can smoke them on the Traeger.
Oh,
It's going to be good.
okay. Well, we'll see. You'll see on our TikTok. Go subscribe. Is it subscribe to TikTok?
Yeah.
Go subscribe to our TikTok channel. Is it a channel? I don't know what TikTok is. I'm old.
Yeah.
But you do TikTok.
Subscribe to the TikTok thingy.
And to see, A, Justin posts videos from us sometimes there, but also B, to see how the discussion went, how the bargaining went.
Okay.
To see
You'll
if Justin...
either get steak
I'm either going to...
pictures
Yeah.
or Justin.
Okay,
dancing.
I'm either going to get an amazing steak dinner and something else not specified yet, or I'm going to get amazing steak dinner and Justin is going to have to do one TikTok dance.
Angel says it's follow us on TikTok. So thank you, Angel.
Thank you, Angel.
Everybody follow us on TikTok to see what happens.
I'm pretty sure it's just the scrimmage.
And like and subscribe on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, all that stuff as well. But definitely
stuff.
follow us on TikTok so that you can see if Justin's bargaining skills weren't good enough to make him do at least one TikTok dance.
Is there a part of you that if you negotiate a steak dinner for yourself, it's going to feel a little bad for people who listen to the show?
Yes. That's why I'm trying to slip in that one TikTok dance. Okay, I think that's going to do it for our show today.
The negotiating period will end before next week's show.
Yes, absolutely. All right, that's going to do it for... Oh, my wife apparently went on a drive. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
she
they
just pulled in.
left.
Okay, anyway, that's going to do it for our show today. So for my co-host, Justin, definitely going to have to do at least one TikTok dance. Tomaszewicz.
That's not what I put in here. I put the egg hunt champion. And my co-host, Daniel, the Yankee Trivia champion, Hargrove.
That feels dirty. And our producer, Andrew...
Gross.
Andrew's really bad at play-by-play, gross.
Yes, extremely bad.
How many foul balls for Winker now?
What is the
I
game
think
still
it's
going?
still the same. Yes, it's still going. They've got 2 outs in the 11th. It's still tied. Mariners have 2 outs in the 11th. It's still tied. Adam Frazier's up.
Well, I'm so glad they have that ghost runner.
Everybody, stop watching this and go watch the Mariners.
Wait, who would win?
Goodbye. This
who
has
would
been the
win
scrimmage.
in an Easter egg hunt? Peak Daniel Hargrove or Haley Van Lith?